Hi YouTube, this is Susan, and I just wanted to show you a project that I'm currently working on. I watched this video the other day on YouTube, which I will link below. It was about this lady had created this beautiful fabric journal, and she had actually passed it around to a few different people, and they all did a page, and it was just really gorgeous. But anyway, so I was really inspired after I saw that video because I love fabric so much. I guess probably, well, I'm not sure what my first art love was. I guess drawing probably, but I've loved fabric as long as I can remember, forever. But anyway, so I was inspired by her project, and I actually had asked my mom. My mom's making me one also, so I kind of started working on my own as well. So I can't wait to see the one my mom makes, but I also can't wait to finish this up. And basically, this, I guess I'll just jump right in and show you. It's not done at all, okay? So this is just the first part, and most of the fabric journals you see are very shabby chic. Well, I like shabby chic, but I am not completely a shabby chic person. I do, however, like glam. I like bold colors, and I love anything sparkly. I love metals, silver, gold, you know, everything like that. So it's kind of my take on that fabric journal, and I'm actually going to call this my Hoard vault. Maybe we'll call it that, because a lot of things that I've collected through the years and whatnot, I'm going to put in here, you know, that I haven't used because I wasn't really ready to let them go. And it could be like buttons and, you know, whatever it could be, applique, you know, lace, fabric, whatever. So this is the first part, and I just built my book, and it's not complete. And the reason I haven't completed it yet is because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the pages yet. So this is very different than what you would probably normally see. Okay, so basically, yes, it's very shiny down there. Okay, so this is my first page, and it is fabric. And I played around with my stitches on my sewing machine. I have an old Kenmore sewing machine that has probably, it's a quilting sewing machine, and it has probably about 8 or 10 different types of stitches. And I've never used the stitches. I've always been a straight stitch girl. But anyways, I decided to play around with them on this. And this is going to be kind of like the modern day version of the sampler, right? Where you just try out different techniques, and you can put them in here and keep them forever. And you know, people can look back on them and go, oh, wow, that was a long time ago. Anyway, so this is the front page, and I love butterflies, and everything I do, you'll probably always see a butterfly in it. It reminds me of my grandmother, who's not with us anymore, so she used to love butterflies. And then on the back side is just a piece of linen, basically. So it's pretty plain. I wanted some plain with some, you know, pretty extravagant pieces. So the next page is, I used a different stitch. This is, you can't really see it, but this fabric actually has like gold fibers in it. It's really pretty. I also used this scallop stitch, which turned out really well on a metallic thread, but I've never used that stitch before. I had this sewing machine for 10 years, and I never played with that stitch. So I'm just thrilled with the way it turned out. And then on the back side, it just has a plain linen. And I used this fabric particularly with the stitch so you could see the detail in the stitch, or so I could see the detail in the stitch. So that one's that. And then the next one is like the lacy material there with the little pin tucks in it. And I played with this thread. I used one color on one side and then another color in the bobbin, which is the pink. So on the other side, that stitch looks a little different. Now the whole idea is, and what I kind of, you know, lived by rather when I put this together, is it doesn't have to be perfect. So basically it's just a sampler, right? And you just testing techniques and playing with fabrics and whatnot. So there's some missing stitches, you know, but I did the best I could do. This fabric was actually really hard to sew with the different laces and stuff in there. Okay, so there's that one. And then, you know, we're going to embellish it too, so it's going to hide any of the imperfections. And you'll notice I didn't cut off any of the thread strings because I might utilize that in my book, so I haven't cut those yet. And then this is that silver metallic fabric again, which you just can't see it on the camera. And I used a blue thread on that one, and just a zigzag, a simple zigzag. And this is another applique lace fabric, and this one was really hard to sew too because the appliques stand up off of the fabric. So using some of the decorative stitches, I had a little bit issue, but this, because I initially tried this with this fabric, I initially did that scalloped stitch, and it just did not look good at all, so I had to start over. Anyway, so there's that one. And then this is well, I've had this fabric for I don't know how long, and it's just gorgeous. And this is something typically like I would pick up and not have an idea in the world for it, but just fall completely in love with it and just fold it and put it in a drawer and pull it out every once in a while and look at it and go, wow, what can I make? A pillow? No, just put it back in the drawer. This is the fabric that I've had probably for 20 years. I bought this like at Old Time Pottery. You know, in the very back of the store, they have a shelf with all these already cut fabric, bolts of fabric, or folds of fabric. It's already cut. You can't really get it by the yardage. You ladies probably know what I'm talking about. So I would walk in there and just find a piece of fabric I loved and take it home. And this is that fabric. So I thought that it wouldn't be right if I didn't put that in there. And then I did this scalloped stitch on there, and I actually used like an embroidery thread there. So, and then this, I think that's like a little ginseng. It kind of looks like ginseng to me. But anyway, so there's that one. And then this was the one that I originally did the scallop stitch on, and I had to cut and redo it. So basically I just put a piece of linen behind it, and I have the applique lace-like material on that side, and then the lacy material there on the other side. And I'm not sure what I'm doing with these outer edges. I may, cut them and make them, kind of fluffy, whatever that word is. Anyway, so I left a lot of my edges because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them yet. And, I'm probably going to embellish with laces and that kind of thing, and trims and stuff. And then there's the butterfly fabric again, and this was kind of a spontaneous purchase, the sequin fabric. I thought that would be really pretty to include. Anyway, so the types of things I'm going to put in there are things that I've had for a long time, things that I've just purchased, just to give you a kind of idea of what my thoughts are. I bought this a long time ago, and I just love it. And so I'm probably going to put that on here and work with that somehow. Design that page around that dog, so that I love this dog. I love dogs, by the way. I have a lot of dogs. I have 3 dogs. And then I've had this for a crazy amount of years. I probably have had this for 15 years. I'm going to use this on one of the pages. And then I did buy some more of the iron-on appliques, and I'm not sure how I'm going to use them, but I love peacocks, so I got that, and I love my butterflies, I got that. And then I got this cute little dog. So somehow I'm going to work these in, and the reason I like this one is because we have a dog named Opie. He's a miniature schnauzer, Westie Schnauzer, and it reminds me of him, even though it's got a pink bow. And there's a funny story about Opie, but we won't tell it right now. It's when he escaped one day, and he had my female dog's jacket on. She had a puffy pink jacket with the white furry trim. It was not good. I found him down the street. He was lifting his leg on somebody's tree, and I think they probably thought we were crazy. But anyway, we did find him. That's the good news. But so that reminds me of Opie. And then I got this cute little poodle one. And then I just have some various trims that I've purchased in my shopping that I had no real use for them, but just liked them, liked the colors, liked the way they look. And then I bought this at Michael's not too long ago. It was right before Christmas, and I thought I could use this in there. I just loved it. I bought one for me and one for my stepdaughter Brooke. So, and then I have laces that I purchased from Joann's, and so I plan on utilizing some of those. This cute little flower lace, and then I've just got this little simple trim here, and then so it's all a mess here. This little trim and this trim. And by the way, Hobby Lobby has a sale this week. I don't know if y'all have seen that. They have like 40 or 50% off of all their trims and on spools, trims and laces on spools. So I did kind of purchase quite a bit of those. So they're coming, and I'll make a video of those when they get here because it's quite a lot. Anyway, and I don't plan on putting the book completely together yet because I really want to figure out what I want to do on each page. And then eventually, I'm not going to sew it down the middle. I think what I'm going to do is, I think I might make a chipboard cover, and I might do each page as a signature, you know, as in one signature. I'm going to use a chip spine, probably about, you know, yo big, about this big, like you can tell how big that is. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like signatures. That way I have the full length of the page to use. It doesn't get all too bulky. I can do as much as I want to the book, and it'll be in a firm, you know, book. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. So, but I can't sew the pages yet because I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I plan on playing with embroidery, with applique. You know, I've done cross stitch before, so I might play with some cross stitch. And I have some ink tints my husband bought me that I might play with on the linen because you can use those on fabric, and I'm excited to play with that. Anyway, so it'll probably be a really long time before I finish this book, but as soon as I get a page done, I will show you guys. And then, I don't know, we'll see how long it takes me to finish the book. Anyway, if you have any questions, just put them below, and I will talk to you later. You guys have a great day. Bye.